This is Al Mann, ABC Los Angeles, with the latest news and comment from ABC Radio. In the top of the news, President meets with leaders of foreign governments. Grand jury indicts Jack Ruby. Stocks go up. In a moment, the details.
Here's a thought for Thanksgiving.
Have a heart-to-heart thought with the one you love, that special someone you're thinking of. Send flowers by wire, it's easy to do, through the FTD florist nearest you.
The Thanksgiving special at $7.50 is only one of 26 arrangements in the new Florist Telegraph Delivery Selection Guide, available at your FTD florist.
Now the news. The business of government goes forward in Washington. President Johnson began meeting world leaders this morning. First, Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. Next, Prime Minister Sir Douglas Hume of Britain. Philippine President Macapagal. Turkey's Prime Minister Inonu. And with both the Chancellor and President of West Germany. The most important meeting of the day, though, was probably that with Soviet Deputy Premier Anastas Mikoyan. The Russian official stayed with the president for almost an hour. As he left the conference, Mikoyan characterized the conversation as pleasant, says it touched upon matters of mutual interest. Asked about the possibility of a meeting between President Johnson and Premier Khrushchev, Mikoyan said this was not specifically discussed. Moments from now, President Johnson meets in the East Room of the White House with representatives of Latin American republics taking part in the Alliance for Progress, which was founded by the late President Kennedy. The President's meeting in the East Room of the White House is being recorded. What the President tells the Latin leaders will be broadcast at the conclusion of the meeting. It will be heard over most of these ABC radio stations, probably about 20 minutes from now. Arriving at London Airport from Washington and the funeral of President Kennedy was British Labour leader Harold Wilson. Asked if he felt the chances of the late President's civil rights legislation to be enacted by Congress had been furthered or lessened, Wilson replied,
"In a strange way, I think the prospect for it may be brighter now. Partly because, of course, Senator Lyndon Johnson, who has shown great courage on this issue himself as a Southerner, will feel perhaps more determined than ever that he must get it through. And I would feel there may well be a wave of feeling right through the American people, which will reflect itself in Congress, that the best memorial they could build immediately to the late President Kennedy will be to enshrine his racial ideas, his civil rights demand into permanent legislation as quickly as possible."
British Labour leader Harold Wilson commenting on possible enactment of civil rights legislation by the American Congress. A Dallas County, Texas grand jury returned a murder indictment against Jack Ruby, the striptease nightclub owner, who is accused of killing assassin Lee Harvey Oswald. The indictment was returned in almost record time. The trial date is set for December 9th, but it will probably be delayed beyond that time. Mrs. John F. Kennedy remains in seclusion in the White House today. There are reports she will go to Hyannisport, Massachusetts for a Thanksgiving with the grieving Kennedy family. Caroline Kennedy went back to school on the third floor of the White House today. The stock market? It's up, apparently reflecting business confidence in the Johnson administration. Trading was extremely heavy. The blue chips made the most spectacular gains as buy orders flooded the market.
Come the holidays, it's so nice to have some wine around the house. Mogan David wine, that is. Because whether you're entertaining or being entertained, any time's the right time for Mogan David wines. And right now, Mogan David Concord Grape Wine comes in 3 different sizes to suit your budget, gift, and entertaining needs. There's the regular size decanter, the new 2-decanter twin pack, and the big half-gallon decanter, all beautifully gift-wrapped in festive red and white. You'll probably want all 3 sizes for your holiday entertaining. And a decanter or 2 of Mogan David's other fine wines, Mogan David Pure Blackberry Wine, Mogan David Pure Cherry Wine, and Mogan David Rosé Wine. For holiday living and giving, stock up on Mogan David wines, the original wines like Grandma used to make. Mogan David, Concord, Blackberry, and Cherry wines, specially sweetened. Mogan David Wine Corporation, Chicago.
You've been listening to the latest from ABC Radio. This is Al Mann, ABC Los Angeles.
This is the ABC Radio Network.